pulled off and just take it and put it in me, you, whoever. Put it in. It's really bad.
Better miss me with that bullshit. Better miss me with that bullshit. Better miss me with that bullshit.
Brain freeze. It's delicious. Got that green and pink straw, you know. Them Lexa colors. Oh my god, this is about to be a really ironic, ass-backwards, controversial, and perhaps a little bit of a hypocritical video. It's so weird because I was in... Let me make this even here. Okay, so... I don't have any points written down. I'm just gonna fucking rant. I was in this chat room, or my chat room earlier, and I was like, I feel like you have more energy when you don't get off. Because when you do, you just kind of feel like drained and relaxed. It's like smoking a cigarette. You have all this energy, and then you smoke a cigarette, and you're like, it mellows you out. I kind of feel like getting off is the same way. Because I don't know, say for instance, if you jerk off every day, if you jerk off every morning, I told people, I was like, and this isn't good advice for me, considering this is like, you know, how I get paid, but I was like, I don't know, try it sometime. Don't jerk off this morning. Don't fap this morning. And see how much energy you have, how productive you are, and how much more exciting your day is. I feel like you'll have more energy. Because, like, I know for me, it's kind of like the same way. You know, girl, I get horny. Like, sometimes I do that, you know? And I notice when I do, and when I don't have as much motivation after to do things. And I'm a very motivated person. And it was weird because, you know, after I said this, I'm on YouTube, I'm watching videos while I'm at work, and I'm watching one of my favorite YouTubers, Vegan Cheetah. Well, he changed his name to Charles Marlowe. Vegan Cheetah. I was watching one of his live streams, and he's talking to his brother on YouNow, and he's like, YouTube, because YouNow sucks. Suck a dick, you know. YouTube, live streaming, talking to his brother about this issue of, like, how his brother is, like, trying not to, I don't know, he thinks that it fucks with your dopamine levels, your sperm count, your testosterone. He's like, I guess he said something about, like, you'll feel more manly if you don't jerk off as much, because, I mean, I guess that makes sense, because it's like you have this pent-up, like, force within you or something. I don't know. I mean, I guess that makes sense. And he's like, not that guys need to be more manly or have more testosterone or whatever, because I feel like, to be honest with you, like, supposed to be balanced human beings and have both sides, you know, obviously some more than the other, but I feel like to be a complete person, we have kind of, like, both sides of our, gender ego. That's what I'll call it. But, I don't know, it got me thinking, like, yeah, I was saying the exact same thing. And he was talking to his brother. He's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I guess maybe it messes with your sperm count or something like that, you know, and there's a lot of people that are very addicted to jerking off, right? I mean, I get that, right? I totally get that. I, for some reason, have a lot of guy friends that are really, like, just always talking about sex or jerking off or whatever. It's like, and it's not every guy, but it's like a lot of guys, you know? And I wonder, are those guys, do they jerk off I mean, they must. Like, some people must do it, like, 2-3 times a day. But once, like, you get to a certain age, it's like, doesn't that stop? I don't know. I don't know. And I have to wonder. No, guys hold it in. Guys hold it in. They'll be like, I haven't got off for, like, 4 days. Blah. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know, because I'm not a guy. Believe it or not, I'm not a guy. If you guys follow me on Snapchat, no, JK, I'm not a guy. I'm sure there's going to be somebody in the comments that's like, Are you a guy or are you a girl? Bitch, please, okay? I'm still on my period right now, okay? Alright? Although, does it matter? Anyways. Like, I would like to increase the brightness here. Okay, thank you. Alright, so, I guess then they went on to talk about you shouldn't be masturbating that much. If you're triggered and you want to go masturbate, or, like, you're triggered by something, or you're, like, addicted to jerking off, like, you have a problem. I mean, I get it, and whatever. Are you triggered now? What about now? People are, like, a little bit spoiled. You know, if you're jerking off every day, I think that's definitely an issue. And then, two, it's like, okay, this is the most important part. This is the part where I kind of was like, I think that that's a very good point. Being in a relationship. A lot of guys are in relationships and they still jerk off. He was saying, I think that they should probably hold it in and wait and have sex. Like, if you're still jerking off, I guess he was saying, like, you're either immature or archaic. I mean, if you're jerking, I mean, like, yeah, you know, a couple times a week, I don't know. I have no opinion on this, really, but she was saying if you're jerking off and you're still in a relationship, like, what the fuck is the deal? Like, maybe there's something wrong with their sex life. And to be honest, it's like, I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I think a lot of people jerk off and they're still in relationships. But here's the thing. If you're living with somebody and you're jerking off when they're clearly there, I agree. I agree. That's not cool. It's like, and this coming from somebody who gets paid to get other people's boyfriends and husbands off. I disagree with it. I get it. You know, business is business, by all means. And if you got it, flaunt it, pay the bills with it. But, hear me out. I mean, okay. I've been in a relationships, many long-term relationships, and I'm sure that my ex has probably jerked off at some point here and there, you know. I could probably say some of them did more than others, but I'm really happy with the fact that I've dated a lot of guys that weren't too driven by sex. They were mostly driven by success. Success is so sexy. It's a metric song. And I like that. They weren't like sexual deviants, I guess. But it's this feels so good going down my throat. It tastes so good. There's pineapples in it too. This is so triggering. This is the worst time to probably be drinking a smoothie right now. Ironically. Coming from, you know, a cam girl, this is an interesting subject. I agree. If you're living with somebody and you feel the need to, like, be sneaking around and jerking off, like, I don't know. I feel like now I've learned a lot, okay? And if I ever live with somebody again or get in a relationship with them again, I would want them to, like, save it for me. I don't care what you're into, I'm about it. I'll do it, okay? As long as it's not illegal, I'll do it. If I like you, if I love you, you'll get the finger in the ass. I don't care. It's cool with me. It's not a big deal. Like, it's really not. Okay? I think it would be, like, better if a guy could just wait. Apparently, it's just not good to be, like, ejaculating that much or, like, masturbating that much. Not only does it waste time, I guess it can, like, kill relationships. So, for instance, if I were living with a guy, you know, say in, like, 4 years, I'm with a guy, we're living together, I'd be like, if you get really horny, like, come to me, like, hold it in and wait for me, and, like, just, we can together, you know, it's fine. Do is to schedule sex. I like it to be spontaneous, but I think scheduling it helps, because if you don't, like, I think, yeah, legitimately, I think scheduling sex kind of helps. Like, we're gonna aim to have sex either this day, or these days, or once a week, or we're gonna aim to have sex, like, usually around this time, or this much, or whatever. And the guy can, like, hold off and just take it and put it in me, you, whoever. Put it in. It's really bad. I think that would make relationships so much better, right? Because there's these guys that are, like, on Snapchat and Instagram, and they're, like, fucking, you know, hard all the time, and they're at work in the fucking bathroom stall. I just feel like if you maybe plan this out and, like, put that more towards your partner, you'll have a better sex life. Like, that's a mature relationship, I guess. You know, and I think that's everything pretty much summed up that Charles and his brother, Andrew, were talking about on their stream. And I was like, it's so interesting because I've kind of been thinking about that topic lately. Because, I don't know, this might be too much information, but sometimes I'm, like, horny a lot, and I'm like, man, I can't wait, like, 2 days. I can't wait 4 days. There's no way, you know what I mean? But
Just me and my left hand.
And I'm like, I'm like asking for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I don't want to wait, so I'm like low-key asking for it. But I think if there's some sort of agreement where it's don't be spoiled. I'm gonna wait, you're gonna wait, and we'll fuck, you know, especially if you're living with somebody, right? I feel like there needs to be, like, some sort of talk about this. I feel like this whole porn and relationships thing is, like, a huge issue. It is, and I would know because, and I have a lot of guy friends, like, on Facebook and stuff like that who are always horny, okay? I don't know their daily routine and their intimate scheduling details, but I wonder, now I do, like, how often do they jerk off? You know what I mean? It's different when you don't have a partner and you live alone and, like, hey, whatever, you know, but I think there comes a point where it's like when you can train yourself to be able to, not so Neanderthalic or sexually brained, sexually minded. Like, if you don't jerk off so much, you'd be surprised. I mean, I feel like you really would have a lot more motivation and energy. I don't know. I know it's hard because it's like, you're horny now. Especially in the morning, I'm sure. But some guys just get too carried away with it. And I think this was a guy saying, I think you need to not get so carried away with it. Especially if you're in a relationship. Especially if you're living with your significant other. A lot of people are going to come at me and be like, what the fuck? Like, it's not cool for guys to jerk off. It's my dick. Don't tell me what to do with my business. I'm not saying that. You jerk off as much as you want. I'm saying, I think if you don't, it has benefits to it. And I think when it comes time to have sex in a sexual, intimate relationship with somebody, it fucks that up. And, like, it does. If you don't believe me, look at all the interviews for people that were sex addicts or porn addicts who talk about having a sexual, intimate relationship with a partner. It's, like, crippling. Too much porn, too much jerking off is not good. I'm not saying don't jerk off. I'm not saying it's bad, alright? Do what you want. Like, I mean, if anything, I'm like the cheerleader for this sort of shit. This is, like, how I make a living. But I'm just saying, just stay focused. Hold it in. See what happens. You'd be surprised. Although I have a feeling, like, if guys held it in, I don't know, we'd probably go back to, like, the archaic caveman days. Imagine if we were not allowed to masturbate. What would happen? What would happen in society? Like, what would be going on? Because we already have these goofy people, like, doing awful things. I don't know. I see two different sides of it, you know? You need a release. It keeps you sane. That's great, but I think as far as, like, masturbating and porn and relationships, it is a little juvenile. Yeah, it is a little juvenile. And that's what they were saying. And, like, I can kind of agree with that. For sure. Feel free to leave your comments. Let me know your thoughts on this. This has been a weird one. Take care.